Hello, I'm Mrs. J, and welcome to my math class. This is for Math 10.
Girl!
Okay, start over. Hello, I'm Mrs. J, and welcome to my math class. This is Math 1020, and we start out in section 1.1, mean and median. And when you're finding the mean, you add up all of the values and you divide by how many there are. So this little symbol here means to add. All the values, and n is how many there are, or the sample size. So in this case, for the mean, we would take 1 plus 3 plus 4 plus 8 plus 9 and divide by how many there are, which is 5. If you add all of them up, you get 24. Divided by 5, we get 4.8, or 4 8/10. So the median is an average. You add all of them up and divide by how many there are. The mean. The median is the middle number. And in this case, if we look, because make sure they're in order first. I wrote them in order. The middle number would be 4. When there's an odd, it's the middle one. So in this case, it's 4. So let's look at this data and find the mean. To find the mean, we add all of them up. If you add all of them up, you will get 36. And then we divide it by how many there are, which is 6. And the median, though, which is our middle number, we don't have a middle number because it's even. It needs to be right in the middle of it then. To find it, you add your 2 middle terms and divide by 2. So it would be 5 plus 8 over 2, or 6.5. So when you don't have an odd number that you can get a middle, you add the 2 middle and divide by 2. Now, sometimes you have to have what's called a weighted mean because they put it into a frequency table. And so if they said that a grade of 100, there was 2 students, maybe a 90 had 5 students, an 80 had 10, 70 was 3, and 60 was 5. So if this were the grades on a test, to find the average grade, you couldn't just add these up because 2 people had 100, 5 had 90s. So to find the mean, you need to multiply 100 times 2. I'm going to run out of room. Plus 90 times 5 plus 80 times 10 plus 70 times 3, And lastly, 60 times 5. But then we still divide by how many there are. 5, 10, 25. So there was 25 students. If you add these down, you'll get 25. So if we multiply and add those, you get 1960 and divide by 25, and you get 78.4. So the mean would be 78.4. Now to find the median, it would be the middle number, but you don't want to write out all 25 numbers because there'd be 100, 195 times, 80, 10 times, and then we need to find the middle. Well, if we know there's 25, if you divide 25 in half, you get 12.5. So that would mean 12 students, the median, and then 12 more students. 12 and 12 is 24, the median makes 25. So we could find that by finding where, count 12, we need the 13th. So this would be 2, 5 more is 7. That means 12 would be in here, and so would number 13. So it would be 10, because even if you go this way, 5 and 8, 4 more, we'd still be in here. So the average, or the median, was 80. So you need to just count until you get to the 12th one, and the next one would be the median, which would still be one of the 80s. This is used a lot for your grade point average. Because if you have an A, it would be 4. And say your math class, you got an A, which would be 4, and maybe it's worth 3 credits. And then your science class, you got a B. A B is worth 3 credit points for each one, and maybe it's also a 3 credit class. And let's do one more, English. If you get, just so we see all the variables, if you get a C in English, but it's a 4 credit class. Your grade point average is a weighted mean. And you take each and multiply and then divide by the total credits. So it's the same thing. We take 4 times 3 plus 3 times 3 and the 2 times 4. And we would divide by how many credits we took. We took 10 credits. So if we multiply those out, 12 plus 9 plus 8, 29. So you have a 2.9. And getting that C hurt. A D would be 1 point, and if you get an F, you don't get any points for it. So this would be a weighted mean, which is your grade point average. That's it for today. Was that bad?